Hello everyone, and now welcome to Game 2 in a series between Grubby and BabyKnight. Grubby taking Game 1 rather easily in this series, in this series, showing how strong Phoenixes are at shutting down Oracles. Oracles do not have an air-to-air attack, so Phoenixes are the right call. Also, Phoenixes are effective against that Mothership Core, since Mothership Cores also do not have an air-to-air attack either. Coming across, BabyKnight is spawning as the red Protoss on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the bottom left, we have Grubby spawning as the blue Protoss, red versus blue PvP here on Cloud Kingdom. Now, I am excited for this game once more, as I am not going to be seeing the typical openings and strategies that have come to make Wings of Liberty a bit stale. The reason why Wings of Liberty is getting a bit stale is also the fact that they're not injecting additional maps into the map pool. We've been looking at Cloud Kingdom and maps like Daybreak for so long that players have not really found it necessary to reinvent their strategies, as opposed to just refine their strategies. Grubby and BabyKnight, so far we see that they are doing very similar builds. Grubby setting up his assimilator, BabyKnight not too far behind either. And both of these players looking pretty strong and looking like they're going to be going for a very heavy tech strategy. Now, I would be extremely surprised if either of these players try to establish up a fast nexus. Now, fast nexus meaning anything faster than the 6-minute mark in a PvP, as the gateways and the ability to warp units across the field is still a very, very potent threat. Add in a warp prism, being able to warp in units onto the high ground, and you have a very dangerous combination. As we see now, both BabyKnight and Grubby going for that all-important second gas. Where is the assimilator for Grubby? Grubby's assimilator is hiding back over here, a bit out of the way, and I'm still surprised that they have not added back the proton or the pylon power field. Whenever you click on a pylon there, you just have to know that this one Cybernetic core is powered by one pylon and one pylon only. Meanwhile, BabyKnight building all of his pylons rather close to home, as Grubby now deciding to double up his pylons, making sure there is not the weakest pylon link. Probe will be able to slip in. Decent probe saturation, 16/24. Meanwhile, Grubby sitting at 15/24, and he is chrono boosting out his probes now as opposed to earlier. So BabyKnight is going to have a slight economic advantage, I believe, coming across. No Mothership Core now coming in, unless there was an earlier Mothership Core that I missed coming in from Grubby. Now, both players are going into that Twilight Council, which is a very, very typical strategy, especially on Cloud Kingdom. You can see there is a very large ledge that is very difficult to try and defend. Grubby opted to place one pylon here in the very front in order to gain sight. Hopefully that pylon is far enough away from the edge, though, where the stalkers will not be able to shoot it. Otherwise, that Mothership Core offering sight is going to cause problems. Grubby, meanwhile, reliving his days of being an Orc Blade Master, now warping in a Dark Shrine. Meanwhile, BabyKnight actually going for the typical Blink Stalker play. Dark Shrine versus Blink Stalkers. Only time can tell what's going to happen here. Remember, the Mothership Core no longer has Envision. That has been moved to the Oracle. A rather smart move, in my opinion, as there's no real reason to give everything to such a strong unit already. Robotics Facility now coming in from BabyKnight. This is going to spoil Grubby's parade rather quickly, as the Mothership Core really shouldn't be venturing out this far on its own. The recall is a very, very easy way to head back home, but you want to save that energy just in case, as we now have a hallucinated Phoenix now on the move out. So that is an insightful play coming in from Grubby, trying to feint that he is going for Stargate once more. However, Blink Stalkers are going to be really strong here as BabyKnight now making his move forward. And what are we going to have? Stalkers, Sentries, Mothership Core versus Stalkers, Zealots, and Mothership Core as well. Here we have it. The Mothership Core now deciding to back off. Are we going to see that Photon Charge? Yes, we will. Just needs a little bit more energy, and there you go. There's the Photon Charge, dealing a lot of damage. That range 13 cannon, so powerful as multiple gateways may get taken down. Blink has been utilized as the Dark Templar has made its way in. Supply Depot actually raised there. A little bit of an interesting play as we now see a Time Warp coming in. Grubby now needs to back off, does get taken down. Blink now moving back, and a very strong play coming in from both sides. Grubby with a slight supply disadvantage. Dark Templars, could have perhaps run amok and dealt a bit more damage, but was unable to get to the lower hit point Stalkers, and that perhaps was important. If he couldn't get to those low hit point Stalkers, no real damage could be dealt. As the Stalkers now going to try and test that ramp up front. Here we have additional pylons now coming in. More pylons will get taken down. Is the probe going to get focused down? One more pylon left. Are the Stalkers going to be able to make it there? There's a Guardian Shield as a Dark Templar is starting to slice and dice its way in. Beautifully done as BabyKnight forced to back off. There is now an observer in the air, but that may be too late as that Dark Templar gets taken down, unable to back off in time. BabyKnight still with a lot of Stalkers, and with that Blink cooldown all ready to go, should be able to back off once more as we now see Stalkers engaging again. Blink Stalkers versus the non-Blink variety, always better, as Grubby taking a beating. And what is happening here? That low hit point Stalker going to separate here. Micro War, but BabyKnight with that Blink once more coming in over the top, dealing tremendous amount of damage. BabyKnight sitting at 51 supply. Grubby sitting at 45. Who's going to come out on top here as the Stalkers are now blinking forward? BabyKnight has a bit of cooldown in order to make up for all of this as the Stalkers are just moving their way forward. The Stalkers do back off here. As, Grubby follows it up, and Grubby now gonna come out as the victor in this battle. BabyKnight looking to try and get away, but Grubby just jumping on top of all of those Stalkers, dealing more damage. But what is this? Another round of reinforce as the BabyKnight, gonna take another beating. One Stalker is not gonna be able to make it. No, it looks like it will. Is it gonna be able to make it in time? Yes, it will, as it does blink back. Very, very nice play going back and forth by both sides. BabyKnight, however, losing a bit more. Grubby has lost one Dark Templar, but has easily transitioned into Blink Stalkers now. And things are looking up for him as he is now establishing up his expansion. Both players opting to set up expansions now. Mothership Core being rebuilt by Grubby. And that Mothership Core is going to be important for the next couple of battles. Zealots holding off over here. There are Immortals, Stalkers, 2 Immortals, and those Immortals are going to cause problems for those Stalkers. Stalkers taking 50 damage per attack, such with a strong range as well. Those phase disruptors dealing so much damage, that burst damage so strong, and also acting as a very, very good meat shield. Grubby making its way forward. Here we go. Once again, Grubby walking forward. What was that? Grubby asleep at the wheel, letting BabyKnight get a free kill as the Mothership Core now makes its way over again. Here we have an engagement. Is it going to be enough? Are we going to get a Time Warp? No, we are not. Time Warp does, I believe, reduce the attack speed. Yes, reduces their movement speed by 50%. So it is a good way of picking off those Immortals, making them much, much slower. I believe those Immortals are already the slowest units on the field behind the Observer, and tied with the Sentry as the Stalkers are now making another move. BabyKnight still with a very, very strong army. Has to be very careful though, as Grubby does have superior numbers and has a good mix of Zealots in there as well. Here we have it. Stalkers, Zealots now doing a push forward. No indication of any Dark Templars coming in from BabyKnight, as Grubby does not have any serious detection. Here we go. Stalkers now trying to engage. And will those Stalkers be able to get away? Yes, they will. Moving at the speed of light. Always very, very beneficial. Harvester count. Grubby sitting at 42. BabyKnight sitting at 67. Taking a look at the losses, about a 1,000 discrepancy between the two, as the incomes should start to make a very, very big difference in the game. Grubby now slipping through with an observer of his own and getting full information exactly what's happening inside BabyKnight's base. BabyKnight will be getting 1-0 upgrades. Grubby with no upgrades at all, now going to be forced to play catch up in the upgrade war. And with Immortals on the field, that is going to be very problematic. Oh, one observer going to get taken down. There it goes. BabyKnight, very, very aware of the flicker, able to shoot down that one particular unit. Now, it's interesting to see that both of these players' playstyles are very similar right now. Proxy pylons at what would normally be the fourth base of each player. Observers trying to do a bit of scouting, keeping track of units. BabyKnight is a bit behind, but these Stalkers may actually catch these Stalkers in a bit of a pickle. No, Grubby actually catching BabyKnight off guard, as the Immortals were not nearby. An Immortal does get off one shot, but that is just one shot there, as no units were taken down. Dark Templar gonna get taken down. Oh, does get the probe though, and prevents the kill there. Grubby now trying to run away with that observer, not gonna be able to do so, as we see in another robotics facility coming online, or another Immortal coming online. All right, Grubby really turning this game into a bit of a macro war. Sentries, Immortals, Zealots all working together. Harvester count 58 to 47, as the Stalkers are gonna get cleaned up there, but he does at least force a cancellation. BabyKnight with a very, very strong army, which should normally just destroy what Grubby has, still taking a very, very heavy advantage. You can take a look, 4 Immortals, 2 Archons, and with all of that damage there, Dark Templar is now trying to come in here. You're going to see perhaps an observer makes its way over here in just a moment. What's happening? That Dark Templar just trying to get some kills, unable to do so, and I like that play by BabyKnight. BabyKnight constantly moving with his army so that the Dark Templar couldn't get consecutive attacks on the same unit. Grubby still posturing himself to put pressure over here at the third base, as Grubby already has his third base up and running. BabyKnight needs to consider what his options now, as one assimilator will get taken down. There it goes. Stalkers now backing off once more, as we see a bit of an engagement again. 59 probes, 48 probes. BabyKnight knows that he is in trouble. He needs to get up more workers in order to get back into this, but he is not training up any at this point. Until he gets this base up and running, I cannot foresee BabyKnight actually evening up this series. Grubby just has such a strong rebuild, and Grubby has also been training up units of his own. You can see level 3 weapons upgrade from BabyKnight, level 2 coming in from Grubby. Grubby is behind in the upgrade war, but is it gonna matter? That is the question. All right, one photon cannon quickly taken down. There it goes, as the Stalkers are now looking to back off again. Zealots now reinforcing. Dark Templar, no, Phoenix is just doing a bit of a flyby and doing a little bit of scouting again, as the harvester count does show Grubby harvesting about 100 to 200 more gas than his opponent still. Grubby not getting Psystorm at this point. We can see a robot. I thought I saw a robotics bay come in. Do we have Colossi ready to go? Yes, we are. We are going to have double robotics facility for Colossi, as Grubby is just waiting for BabyKnight to attack him. That's all I can really say about this. BabyKnight needs to attack Grubby, and who is going to come out on top? Phoenix now catching some of those units off guard. Zealots maybe trying to come in as well. Here we go. There's a Colossus, but it is not moving with the rest of the group. There is a time warp. Both sides time warp, and I cannot tell whose time warp is whose, as some units, or is it non-friendly fire? Okay, both sides getting time warp there, as a Colossus now joining in on the fight. Are the Immortals going to try and focus down that Colossus? I don't believe so, as the units are now just trying to push their way through still. Here you go. Immortals are battling it out, and I believe Grubby is just going to take this game very easily. BabyKnight with the superior army for so long, unable to put any pressure on Grubby. So Grubby easily taking game 2 and winning this best of 3. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.